So my wife has the same dream about getting abducted by aliens. Every time she has this dream, she has the worst pain in her stomach. She cries all night. And I used to think maybe, it's gas. But I want to believe her. And I kind of did believe her. But how do you just believe, like, oh, aliens took you and you kind of have a memory? Well, anyways, today is December 9th, 2019. Maybe about 4 days ago, we have a Chrysler 200, and we can get from here to almost 400 miles away and not even run out of gas, right? So we have the gas tank full. We take off, and when we take off, I just took her to the corner store, full tank. I take her to the corner store, and then we start driving back. But on the driving back, it barely got dark, and I remember I was yawning, and I'm like, why am I so tired? I feel like I'm just wiped out. I don't know why. Well, I looked down at the fuel, and we went from full to empty. And I don't know how that much fuel got burned out. No idea, but we lost a whole tank of gas going 5 minutes away, which a quarter tank of gas is at least, I go to Three Rivers from San Antonio, and it takes about a quarter tank, which is about an hour and 45-minute drive, and that's a quarter tank. We went from here to the corner store, burned out all the fuel, get back home, she crashes out right away. Maybe it's 8:30, didn't really pay attention to the time, I just know it was dark. We get home right away, and she crashes out. Wakes up about 2 hours later crying. Her stomach hurts. I feel her stomach, it's a lot of pressure on it. I'm like, wow. Same night, she has a dream, but she didn't know where she was at. She had her dream. She's like, oh my God. She gets worried. Like, she knew she was somewhere else, but not here. And she says it looked like, not an office, kind of like a home, but kind of empty, And she's like, oh my God, like, where am I? And she starts worrying, like, I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna wonder where she's at. And she starts worrying, like, oh my God, I gotta get home to him. Like, where am I? And then all of a sudden, 3 aliens walk in, and she just kind of had a sense of relief, like, whew, like, not scared of them, but she knew, like, I know these people, and I know I'm gonna go back home. Relief in her heart. And she's like, I'm gonna go back home. Like, I know who these people are. And she says, like, whenever I saw them, I wasn't scared. They did have clothes on. She said they just had like regular clothes. And now I believe her, because I'm like, it could be a coincidence, maybe her stomach and all that pain all the time. But a whole tank of fuel disappeared. It's been blowing my mind. And I mean, I don't know if this happened to anybody else, where you disappear, you come back home. And I mean, I felt tired when I got home. Like, never. If it feels like when I was in the Army, we train all day, and then at the end of the night, you just get home and you're ready to crash out. Like, you get back to your barracks, you're like, all right, whew, let me crash out. And it feels like you blinked. And we got home, and I felt like wiped. Same thing with her. She got home, laid in bed, and crashed out. Wakes up a couple hours later crying. And what makes me believe it now is, like I said, the fuel. So she would say the story, but she doesn't like to tell anybody, and I'm kind of just throwing it out there. But I don't know if there's other people that are like her, where she feels more like there's no, like, who would believe me? And she don't tell anybody the story, not even her mom. But now I'm just kind of throwing it out there. But yep, I And about 2 times she has seen a ship where she was walking like on her own. She was just walking outside, getting fresh air. And the ship she saw, I don't know if anybody else has had this experience, but she says it covered the whole sky. It was a ship bigger than like 10 buildings wide and buildings long. You couldn't see nothing. You just saw a massive, it looked like a city, but it was a big ship, square, cube. And it had lights on it, but not like bright light shining on her. It just looked like window lights. And I mean, I believe that big ship story because she's a big God believer and grew up believing in God, and the only thing that makes her question God is seeing that ship. And she's never really had proof, but I feel like this car burning all that fuel in a matter of 8 minutes, we were supposed to be gone. I believe it. It's just a quick alien story, and hopefully, you know, you believe too.